Beautiful, beautiful.
Cool.
All right.
All
Go
right.
for it.
All right. Anyway, this is the part where we do the nice little segue. Way, hello. So how are you, man? You all good?
I am great. I got a lot of sleep. I got a big cup of coffee. I'm just hanging out. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, man. Was just jamming some drums earlier. I recently picked up the sticks again. Yeah, got to do something in
I
lockdown,
see
right?
that kid back there. It's
Yeah, it's the
nice.
Roland TD-17. It's pretty good. Like I mainly played acoustic kit, so I played drums for 6 years, but I haven't played in 10, so I'm fucking so out of shape. But
Oh, it's like riding a bike, man. You know.
Yeah, see, I was playing some songs earlier, and it was very much a case of like, okay, my brain remembers this song, remembers this bit, but my arms and my legs are like, it's not
Yeah,
there
all
yet.
goofy.
I build up the muscle and all of that sort of stuff. But no, it's good. I was jamming on It Follows. Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems like a fun song to play because like it's just such a like certainly on the drums like like
Uh, Actually, I have a little bit of a story about that song. So, when we were writing that album, we were writing it here, actually, in this little room.
yeah.
And Devin came over one day and, he's like, I got this idea for a song. And he laid out the entire song, It Follows, on drums. And he was like, play to this. like,
Wow.
like when I say the entire song, I mean like verse, chorus, intro, all of that.
Right,
Um,
right.
and so I was like, okay, here we go, you know. And then, and then that's when I wrote the intro riff, dun dun dun,
Da,
dun,
da,
dun,
da, da,
and
da,
it just
da.
went on from there. But yeah, he's crazy.
It's cool, man. It's great, and I imagine like songs are like kids. They're all your favorites, but you must have some favorites, like particularly like on like a live feel. There's certain parts in set where you go, "Fuck yeah, I can't wait to play this one live." Like it's
Yeah,
this
well,
time.
it's a combination of that, what pops off the hardest, but then there's other things in between that are sort of these what I like to think of as long-term goals, like things I've always wanted to accomplish as a songwriter. And that's kind of like songs like Empty, Erased, Singing in the Swamp, and even Power of the
Mm.
High. For different reasons, whether it be an emotional thing or something that I finally was able to do on guitar that I've been searching for a moment to do.
Hmm.
Or even from a songwriting perspective, like I think Erased is one of the most beautiful pieces we've ever done. And so that was a personal accomplishment for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah,
You always have your favorites for sure. So Power of the High then must be interesting now then, because you've, as you say, there's all these different reasons why you have certain connections with songs, and
mhm.
then that kind of gets into the live environment, but you haven't been able to get into the live environment yet. So you must have a different
Yeah,
feel with a song that you haven't been able to play live before. Must
it's
be an odd
it's a
thing.
it hurts,
Yeah.
because uh, the reactions have been more than anything we ever expected. And I mean that. And that's really beautiful and it's really encouraging. But at the same time, it's like I want to rock out for y'all so bad. But we have a couple plans around it, and I think it'll be enough. In times like this, you kind of just have to go with the flow and make it work, and that's what we're doing, one step at a time. But there are plans in the future for fun stuff for the fans to get to see us play again.
Yeah, nice, nice. And to me, when I was listening to Power of the High, I could certainly hear aspects of sort of combinations of Smile and Too Far Gone, even probably a little bit of Kill the Sun in there. And I was saying earlier, when I think of your band now, I think of a band that maybe a couple of years back I might have been thinking, this is a band that is defining their sound. Now I feel like you've defined your sound. Does it feel like that to you? Because I can put on like, a new song now and I just feel like, yeah, that's a Cane Hill tune.
Yeah, I think it took a while to sort of. I think we had a lot of growing pains, if that makes sense,
Yep.
and a lot of because when we first came out, a lot of people they're like, oh, they sound like Slipknot, like oh, they're just
Mm.
doing the new metal thing. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. When we wrote the EP, I was 17 years old, and I actually didn't like Slipknot at all. I didn't like any of that stuff. I thought it was. I used to call it nasty metal,
Right,
and it
right,
wasn't
yeah.
until I met our bassist Ryan, and he was like, "Bro, you're sleeping,"
Mm.
and I had actually written a lot of that material I guess you could say ironically, because I was doing the stomp beats, I was doing the drop A, and and he joins the band. He's like, "This sounds like Slipknot." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And it just sort of snowballed from there. And through time, we were able, between the reactions we got in playing shows and being a band, we were able to be like, no, we don't sound like them. We're our own band, and
Mm,
it takes a little bit of like I said, those growing pains to sort of shake away. Okay, this is why people are saying that. That's why people are saying that. Get that shit out of here. And that's something that I'm really proud of because it's not. While it is cool, oh yeah, I love Slipknot and you guys. It's in a perfect world. I want to get it to where we're not. Stop saying that.
mm.
So it felt really good with Power the High. I do agree with you. I do feel like it is something it's hard to compare to anything else. And I definitely want to keep that trend going. And I think I can't pinpoint it to one reason why we were finally able to do it. It took writing 30 or 40 songs and all these albums to get to this point. But,
Mm.
now that, I'm 25, I think I finally got a grasp on like how to do that formula. And that feels great.
And I have to. This is just hilarious. So one of our viewers right now, Kingsley, saying, "Oh, Slipknot, that band that sound like Cane Hill wannabes."
Yeah, let's
hey,
keep that one going. I
hey,
like that
hey,
a
hey,
lot more.
Corey. Hey.
Can I see the chat? Oh no, it's just
Witt
between me
was
and
in
you.
the chat earlier. I think he was. What did he say? Witt was saying he's here just to make sure you don't biff it. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
you've got tabs on you right now. Ronnie as well. Thank you so much for subbing at tier one. That's awesome. Salty Pants is here. Salty Pants was here an hour early for you, by the way. Um,
Oh right.
yeah. So or Salty P, as I think
I
we're,
think
we're,
I've
we're going with.
actually seen him a bunch between Twitter and Instagram.
Oh, amazing. So we mentioned just live shows, Power of the High, and that sort of thing. The last time I saw Cane Hill and cross paths with you was the Bury Tomorrow tour. I just figured we could
Oh,
go
you
back to
saw us?
yeah. Well, it was quite funny. I had a chat with Witt in the stack. It was like one of those very stereotypical like rock and metal things. I had a chat with Witt in the staircase, and Crystal Lake were like constantly banging at the door because they forgot their passcode. So we had to
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, it was how it goes.
It
Yeah, you
probably
know it,
would
Witt.
have
You
been
know
a
it.
man. That's such a small world. That's awesome.
But it's really cool. I think because we can't go to live shows, sometimes I quite like just to go to a happy place. But that tour was fucking sick because it was such a bill. It's Bury Tomorrow's Crazyfists, you guys, in Crystal Lake. So yeah,
It
what
was a
like
trip, man.
fuck, like how was that whole tour? That must have been probably one of the most fun you would have been on for sure.
Well, going into it at first it was strange because when you don't know anyone, there's always this like, how should I act feeling.
Mm.
Um, Now we had history with 36 Crazy Fists, so it was, hey, how you doing? But with Crystal Lake and even Barry Tomorrow, even though they invited us, we had no relationship with them at the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But day one, they were like, hey, come get some food, come hang out in the green room. There's only one green room, but we're all jamming into it. So
Yep.
it's like,
Yep.
okay,
Mm.
they're very hospitable. I like this. I like this. And then, um, you know, uh, next thing you know, we're sharing instruments, not live, but like, hey, this is my thing, this is my thing,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
talking gear and technique, and that's the real juicy stuff. Now for Crystal Lake, it took a couple days because there is a language barrier there,
Yeah. Yeah.
but Rio, he actually speaks basically fluid English. He can pretty much do it all.
Nice.
Um, so he was like the first one that we all kind of like, ended up forming a relationship with. And then, it just happened to come down to us all being jammed in a green room. And next thing you know, we're all fucking best friends.
Mm.
Now, there is still a language barrier, but when it comes to alcohol, none of that really matters. So they thought we shred, we thought they shred, and it was just this genuine, mutual, organic. friendship between bands, and that's stuff that you can't pay for, you can't ask for, you can't make up. So for all of us to just bond like that and be okay with each other's company and no issues, that was wow. Did not expect that. The whole tour was great.
And I can imagine when you make friends with a band like that on tour, it's almost like making friends with someone on holiday for a bit. You have that real connection. So are you then able to, like, do you keep in touch with the bands that you form closer connections with? Because obviously if you tour all the time, you're always going to be meeting different bands, but the odd few that maybe have a bit more connection with, do you sort of keep in touch after tours?
Yeah, more than I thought than one would think.
Yeah.
It's not so deep where it's like, hey man, I heard your mom was sick, like, or hey,
Mm,
how the dog, it's not because we're all busy people,
sure.
they have some, they're, respectively, they are a bigger band than we are. So, they have so much more going on. But, every now and again, I'll get a response on my DM like, yo, or they'll post a screenshot of them jamming us and vice versa. And someone, or maybe someone's doing a questionnaire. Who's one of your favorite bands to tour with? And it'll be us, or vice versa.
Mm,
And it's just little stuff like that. It's good enough. You
mm-hmm,
know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Because it's
Yeah.
genuine. It's people don't just do that. They don't just do that for namesake or for face.
Mm,
They mean it, and that's beautiful.
yeah. Yeah.
And there's that goes for a lot of the different band relationships out there. Like Bury Tomorrow is the same way. I don't mean to brush them off. They're the same way. But they're big too. So we talk to them even less. But when we do, it's like yeah.
Mm.
So it just kind of comes with the territory. You never really know.
Nice, nice. And yeah, when I spoke to Witt in that very noisy stairwell, letting Crystal Lake in as they were trying to get the passcode sorted, it was before Kill the Sun came out. And Witt was
It
basically,
was, yeah, yeah, because that happened.
yeah, just before, I think, a little bit before. But I remember Witt was basically like, yo, bro, it's like, this ain't too far gone, man. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm intrigued. We'll see, we'll see. And then it came out, it's like, oh yeah, you weren't kidding. Were you
Funny thing about Crystal Lake again, not to keep rambling, but the day Acid Rain came out, they were all like huddled in a circle looking at a cell phone watching the video, and they were like, "This is so good."
yeah. So were you quite surprised then that the response that EP got, given it, the nature of its whole sound and everything you did
Yeah,
on that?
I have a lot to say about that because there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, what have you done?" But in the beginning, I talked about how a lot of songs were accomplishments. I think Acid Rain, like, okay, if Cane Hill had a greatest hit CD, Acid Rain would be on it. Because that to me, whether it's heavy or not, is hands down the most creative thing we've done as songwriters and a band with very minimal help.
Mm.
It was just us and Stephen Brodsky, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. So that was the most. And what's funny about that song? That song actually used to be all acoustic, and
Mm.
you know how the chorus is all electronic-y?
Yeah.
So the ending was always the ending, the
Mm-hmm.
way it slows down and all that. So I remember I was high and I was like looking at the screen. I was like, I just dragged over that part, and I was like, "What
do
does this
do do
sound
do.
like?" And it was one of those things where the guys were about to leave because it had been a long day, and they all turned around and were like, "Yo!" And I think we spent another 2 or 3 hours on it. And yeah, so I love that. But no, anyway, about the reception. So there's a lot of people who are like, "What have you done? This isn't heavy. I'm so upset." But it did so many other unimaginable things that are almost hard to believe. So we got the Seven Dust tour because of Kill the Sun.
Wow. Wow, that's
And I
interesting. Wow.
remember Devin, it wasn't me, it was Devin, was talking to Morgan Rose and
Mm.
Clint. And they were like, dude, we loved Kill the Sun. It inspired us to make this next Seven Dust album more groove oriented because you guys just groove so hard on that.
And that's
And
and
then
that's cool because I find a lot of the older bands don't necessarily get influenced by, the new stuff that's coming up. You very
dude,
rarely hear that.
I was like, you're fucking lying. He didn't say that to you, like, And it's crazy because I remember my mom, she gave me the Animosity CD as a kid. She was like, "This is cool. You should listen to this," you know? And I did. I jammed Animosity so hard. And it definitely influenced me. And I remember being a teenager and even a younger songwriter and being like, Seven Dust would do this. We should probably do that, right?
Mm.
Um, so for that comment to hit us, dude, I don't give a fuck how many people liked Kill the Sun. The fact that they did is enough for little old James. I mean, seriously, that was wow. That's better than money. That's better than the views and the likes. That was sick.
And given that you kind of you put yourself out there, you did something different like that. Do you find that now that because you've gone to that place, you stepped out of probably what was a comfort zone, that's potentially opened up so many other possibilities for you now as a band because you're not afraid to go, actually, maybe we'll try something a bit different here. Even in Power of the High, you can hear some of those clean aspects blended
Yeah,
into the song.
it's certainly an interesting mixed bag of music we have. So I guess the way we like to see it is, I don't know, if we got offered a lighter tour, we have a few options. We could be the heavy band on the package, or we could try
Mm,
and match up with them, or we could make, the plan back in the day was to do an exclusive Kill the Suns tour and play mostly soft stuff, but it was hard to find other artists that would mesh well and like,
right, right.
the how it would all lay out. It was really hard to put that together, so that plan kind of got shelled out. But in a perfect world, Cane Hill's headlining, we're doing hour and a half sets. We all see this portion where the heaviness stops, and we do a couple of those, and then transition back into the heavy stuff.
That's
Like,
it.
because we've always had like these shoot for the star dreams in our mind, like the lights and the
Yeah.
pyro and then the
Mm-hmm.
risers and all that shit. Even at the level we're at now, every decision has always been, well, one day it's going to be this,
Mm.
so that's kind of the way we look at it. It's in our back pocket as a special, interesting thing for the live performance. But yeah,
Nice. And yeah, I think there's so many different ways and places you can take that. And Salty Pants getting in touch and saying and I was going to ask you about this myself actually, because it seems to be a massive thing now, in that we see so many more collaborations, and we were sort of talking about that feeling of brotherhood that you have with Crystal Lake and Bury Tomorrow, and we're seeing more collaborations within metal, which I think is great. So yeah, who do you think you might like to collaborate with?
I don't know if I should answer that.
I'll go for it because if it's someone from the pop world or whatever, like,
Well,
if
no, none
anything,
of them.
Bring Me has blown that out of the water with their latest album. He's
Well,
looking for
there's
guests on
one
that.
feature we wanted to get, but he's far too busy and he's blowing up right now. We wanted to get Mario Judo on a track, but it's not happening. There is going to be features in the future. I don't feel like I should spoil it right now because I think it's going to be really cool. But they're all in the metal world, I'll tell you that. But it's three bands who I think would sound great with Wit, on a back and forth kind of thing, or however it turns out. These songs don't even exist yet, but
Right.
um, but it's fair to expect some guests coming up in the future.
Well, who could you give us that a bucket? Maybe not those three that you got lined up, but a bucket list outside of that you think, yeah, all right, we'll get Manson or
Oh
whoever it might
man,
be.
that's that's hard for me personally to answer because most of the time I think features can be kind of, you never really know what you're gonna get. Like I remember in the past, someone was like, "Oh, you should get Rob Zombie on a track. You should get Marilyn Manson on a track," and I was like,
mm,
"That's the worst idea I've ever heard."
mm-hmm.
Not because those artists, I like those artists, but doesn't that just seem a little too on the nose? You know what I'm saying?
I could totally get where you're coming from because similarities and stuff like that. It yeah. You sort of, I guess it's a double down in many ways. Whereas collaborations, I guess, ultimately can be a chance to bring different things into
Yeah,
one
and that to
place.
me is more exciting. There's no one that really comes off the top of my head, I guess.
Wit's still here in the comments. Wit, dude, who do you wanna have, man? Who do you wanna get on a Cane Hill album? Let us know in the comments, dude.
You said it can't be metal though. It's got to be something
All
different.
right. We'll see what Wit says. I thought it was interesting. Britney, fuck yeah, man, fuck yeah,
Britney Spears.
Britney.
He
Man,
genuinely
thing is
likes
though, we
Britney.
laugh. If you did that, it would absolutely blow up. Like it would blow up so
He's
bad.
from Louisiana. Yeah.
That'd be amazing. One thing I thought was interesting, you were saying earlier about you've always had these ideas of where you want things to be, lights and all that. We were talking earlier on the stream about future headliners. Many of your fans in the comments now think that you're a band that can headline festivals in a few years to come. And I was saying that there's many different factors that go into a band headlining a festival. Obviously, getting the right songs, which definitely you're doing, but then there's all the right tour packages. But I think personally as well, if you're going to headline festivals, you got to have like that ultimate drive to get there. Is headlining festivals, is it a goal? Do you care, or are you just happy to do
It,
your music and bring as many people as you can, and whatever, and wherever the chips fall, that's cool.
for me, I don't necessarily care about closing the fest because
Yeah.
I've seen Volbeat play at 5 p.m. and totally steal the show.
Mm-hmm.
Or Deftones, I've seen them play at like 3 o'clock and just be the loudest band on the stage that day.
Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily matter to me. It would be cool to be one of the bands who gets chosen to play when the sun's going down, because that's when you can actually see the lights and shit.
Dusk.
That would be
Mm.
cool to me. I don't care if we're the last band, but if we're at least the chosen who get to play at night, that'd be great.
Mm, mm. And yeah, because I think that dust time is so special because everyone, people are either KO'd from,
Mhm.
from the day, or they're waking up
Yeah, or they're
for
like, they
being
get that
KO'd.
second wind, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
second wind at a festival, baby. Yeah, it is definitely a thing. But personally, honestly, I think you guys have the songs to headline festivals. I can imagine 50,000 people losing their shit to the likes of Too Far Gone. There's just so many other
Yeah.
factors into a band becoming a headliner, right team, and or right tours, and a
Yeah,
lot a lot of things out of your hands. Ultimately, I guess.
yeah, it's a lot of proving yourself, and it's weird. You can have this great material and the great this and the great that, but if no one sees it and no one hears it, then it's not going to have that effect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really about hammering uh, the project. I don't know how to word that. It's really just about hammering it all and getting it to spread like a virus to people.
That's a very, very 2020 saying.
I thought that as I said it.
uh,
Well, I think by what I said. That's how it should be. But
yeah. Well, it's true though. It's true. Fuck, how quick the COVID spread around the world. But actually, it's a really interesting point because I noticed on your Twitter the other day you posted your Spotify Wrapped, as all the bands did, and I think it's really cool that those stats kind of get out there. And 92 countries, 500,000 listeners. Do stats like that kind of remind you that there's a lot more people listening to you than you might realize day to day, or it might not factor in because it's not like 500,000 people are emailing you every day sort of thing. You might almost
yeah,
forget that you've got
no.
500,000 people listening to you across the year.
It is super humbling because like when I'm walking my dog, or like I don't know, I'm cooking breakfast and like I'm wearing nothing but my boxers. I don't think about that stuff. I kind of feel like, oh man, I shouldn't have stayed up that late. I feel like shit. I gotta go to work. God damn it. But when you see that, it's like, this is what I do it for. Like this is what's that's why I think it's cool. Like while Spotify does suck dick for not like paying their artists or not artists, but the people
Enough.
who,
Mm.
yeah, then it's still nice to see that information, and
Mm.
really connect us more with our fans and stuff, because that information is sort of vital, and you can get it
Yep.
from YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all that, and it really helps you sort of pinpoint where your demographic is. Like for some reason, Chicago is Cane Hill's biggest supporter. I don't know
Interesting.
why,
Right.
but if
Right.
you if you look at the information, they are the biggest as far as Cane Hill goes.
I actually think like Spotify, as great as it is, you said, yeah, it sucks dick because of the royalties thing. But I think they got, for me, it seems like there's such an opportunity there where you could integrate more of what bands do into Spotify itself, and hopefully it wouldn't take too
Mhm.
much of a fucking cut. But it's just like, while so many people are there, help them sell merch,
Yeah, it's a
tickets, or
double-edged sword,
yeah,
man, for real. And it's hard because I mean, we could talk about this all day, but everyone's too
for sure.
scared to do anything about it. You go, they're so powerful, and they could just simply fuck up your algorithm, or they could blacklist you, or give you a soft block. There's no telling what they could do. They have so much control over it. So
Mm,
everyone's too terrified, unless someone like Drake comes out and like, this is bullshit. Then
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you need someone of that stature to sort of stand up and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's kind of get this back in line. But
I
yeah,
think I see, and I'm no pro. I'm just guessing. Like maybe
mm.
Drake can save it. you know,
I'll
like,
try and get him on the stream and see what he says. So then, what was on? Did you see your personal Spotify Wrapped? I mean, I'm intrigued to know what was on yours,
oh,
not
I
Cane Hill.
didn't, but I could tell you right now, it's The Weeknd. He was the number one.
Right, 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 right.
Probably
Interesting.
followed up by Usher and Future, and then behind that's probably Meshuggah, and then what would not? I'm just guessing here, but those are the handful of what I listen to. Oh, Benny, I love this chick. Her name's Benny,
Right, right. I don't know.
Benny. And wow, her voice is one of the coolest voices in music I've heard in a long time. Like it's up there with Lord and everything of how
Right,
unique
right, 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 right.
it is.
I tell you one artist
Um,
that you might dig. They're quite big, but given that obviously from the whole acid rain thing and that more sort of chill vibe. You ever heard of Tycho?
I haven't actually, no.
Oh man, Wit as well, you as well, dude. You guys need to check out Tycho because like I listen to like I've got like a chill playlist and like so much of that
Yeah.
EP is like layered in with my Tycho and it's like just a place of peace. It's like
I'm gonna go ahead and do a shout out to my buddy. He has this side project, and he's helped us write songs in the past. He helped us write "Singing in the Swamp" and "Empty."
mm,
His name's Brian Samus, and his band is called La Bouquet,
La
L.A.
Bouquet. Okay,
Bouquet.
cool,
And then
cool.
he also has this side project called Oliver the Kid with two V's in Oliver and I believe two D's in Kid. And if y'all like chill stuff, if y'all like, amazing voices, then y'all need to check out my boy. But yeah, shout out to Brian.
Nice, nice, nice. So, dude, in the promo video you very kindly made for us, and believe me, it can be difficult at times to get bands to do that sort of stuff. So, I
I
really
wasn't sure if
appreciate
I
that.
overdid it or not.
Oh no, honestly, I wish bands would do that for me every time. I guess it's difficult for bands because you must have a lot of media requests all the time, right? So it's difficult to
Well,
constantly
yeah,
do stuff.
it mostly goes to Wit for stuff like this. I get a lot of people hitting me up for like, hey, I need this like solo, but can you film yourself doing it too? And I'm like, I have to get a friend to help me do it because I'm not a video person.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know very little about that. But sometimes I can, make it happen. I'm weird. I like to shoot for the stars, and if I'm gonna do something, I want it to be as HD as possible and nice as possible. So
Yeah, yeah.
so I guess I'm stopping myself from certain opportunities because I think it won't be X and Y enough.
Mm-hmm.
But it certainly does happen.
Yeah, yeah. But in the promo video, the one thing you did mention was maybe some revealing some future stuff for Cane Hill. So yeah, man, what's up? What's going on?
Oh shit! Well,
Hey, man, you fucking said it, not me.
I have to be careful. So if you want to ask me some stuff, I'll answer to
All
the
right,
best.
so I gotta lead in, have I? Okay, all right. So album, what's happening with the album, dude? Are we getting a new Cane Hill album?
It's not all recorded,
Right,
but
right.
it's happening in real time, and that's what's interesting is we didn't plan for that. That's just kind of how it's going. So with the reaction we got from Power of the High, we were a little down in the dumps. It had been 2 years, what feels like 2 years since
Yeah,
we had a release,
yeah.
and to see that reaction was like, oh shit, we are a band, And
Yep, yep.
so that really kick-started me personally to be like, I kind of got my confidence back, and that really helped me. And so Kill Me is about to come out very, very soon. and then we're going to be filming our third music video this month, and that song's going to be called "God Is the Enemy,"
Right,
and
right.
that's going to be the first set of three. Um, and a lot of people have been guessing about what the plan is, and I think it's pretty obvious at this point. We are going to do several EPs that accumulate to an album, and they all have
Okay,
a
that's
very
kind of
special
cool.
theme, and they're all pretty thought out. And
Right.
having the benefit of releasing them in real time and seeing the reaction from the fans only fuels the fire, and only turns steers to what the right decision is. So we're working on EP2 right now, and it's 70%. None of the visuals are done yet, but
Mm.
it's all like dominoes. It's all just coming into place.
Right, right, right. And are you phased at all by releasing music in pandemics? Because a lot of bands will push stuff. Are you bothered by that at all? Are you just like, fuck it, let's just go, let's get out there?
I think that everyone's situation is different, because we're a band who did a shitload of touring before all this,
Yep.
but we're also a band who didn't release anything new. So
Mm.
there's a couple things like that we feel are necessary to establish, and one of those being that we're still around, we're still heavy, we're still your favorite band. So, as far as releasing goes, I think it's fine. I think we figured out a perfect formula that works for us. Everything's going to happen one at a time. Everything's going to be treated like a single. It's going to be put on a pedestal. Every release is getting exclusive merch, one of a kind, one time stuff, minus the album art. The album art's the only thing that you're going to be able to get. You'll have a couple chances to get. But there's going to be a lot of one-time stuff. Anyone who's a collector of Cane Hill memorabilia, this is going to be a great, memorable, fun time for them to look back on. And it's also a historic moment for us as a band, just because of, it can be really intimidating. What do you do? What do you do? We can't play shows.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I'm really thankful. I don't think it could have played out any better, because we do have plans for. I'll spill the beans on this. I mean, who didn't see this coming? We do have plans for a live stream, and certain things are going to fall into that, so that's going to be our remedy to that. And all the merch exclusives are going to help keep the band afloat and fund these music videos for the next one, and for the next one, and for the next one. And so there's no real goal of pocketing any of this. It's more so just to keep the entertainment and the everything moving along and falling
Mm.
into place. And I think with this approach, I think everybody wins here. The fans win, we win. There's still music. We're making the best of it. That's all you can do during this time, is make the best of it.
Well, I think now more than
um,
ever we need music because there's not much else. Well, there's fuck all else really. But movies as well is important, but it's like music's like so hugely important now because it's something to hold on to. In fact, I was talking earlier on my radio show about it. I was like, you know what, 2020 sucked balls, but the music didn't.
yeah, yeah, because that's been my personal thing. Like, I never felt like I had enough time to just stop and think, because you know, I'm a very picky writer. Like, if I don't like something, I'll keep throwing parts and parts at it until it's finally right. Or there'll be one note in this riff that is just not working for me, and the guys are like, "Dude, no, it's good." I'm like, "No, it's not. Shut up." Like, um, so
Perfectionism, I'm there as well, man. I hate myself at times for it. It's such a fucking pain in the ass.
but
But when you get it, and in your mind it's perfect. It's the fucking one.
yeah, I mean, Power of the High is a great example of that. There was a couple times where the guys were like, "It's done." I'm like, "No, we should look at this part for a moment, and look at it now. Everyone loves it. So yeah, there you go."
Wit is saying picky is an understatement. 80 riffs lost per song. That's quite a ratio there.
He needs to get out of this. If he's in here, why isn't he doing this? Why?
Yeah, I thought you were. Wait, I got told you were at work.
He probably is. He probably is.
So there's a lot of excitement. You mentioned the live stream. Can you say anything more about the live stream when you think, like, do you know when that's going to be?
I do, but I don't. Like, there's this certain window that we want to do it, um, but we literally are putting the pieces together now. And most of them are there because it's people we know. It's all in house. It's all relationships. It's nothing new. There's not going to be any breaking the ice. It's all professional friends that have been there, done that, and it's more so just getting the date and the spot and all the in betweens figured out.
Yeah, yeah, and then there's all the production aspect of it as well with live streams and getting it
Yeah,
right.
because
But
we don't want to. We kind of want to do it like how Bad Omens and Plot just did it. Get it kind of nice looking and really exciting, and
mm,
that shouldn't be too impossible.
mm,
We do have a little bit of production that we own, and I'm sure renting some stuff isn't too far out of the question, especially with our good buddy Tony Bicola. He's our tour manager, sound guy, full time, and he has a huge background with production building. There's a better word for it,
mm-hmm.
but he's built light shows before. He's video screen, and he's also a sound engineer. So yeah, he's sort of a jack of all trades, and he's going to help us out a shit ton with all that. And yeah, I think it's going to be great when we
Nice,
finally get
nice.
it all.
Kingsley's saying make a Twitch channel. So I know that Wit is on Twitch, and obviously we're on Twitch right now. Do you have a Twitch channel?
I don't. I fear that I don't have enough time to because okay, so there's a portion of my life that's work, then there's a portion of my life that's writing, and there's a portion of my life that's relaxing, and then all the in between here and there. So I feel like I'm too worried about the record, and I want to make sure it's going to be good before I dive into something like streaming. Like I feel like that's going to take so much thought process of how am I going to entertain today? I need a theme. Fuck, what am I going to do today?
Mm.
I kind of want to get the record out the way before I even begin considering something like that. It does look fun, and yeah, people tip you, you get money, cool. I don't. I want to do it well, and I just don't feel like this is the right time for me personally to dive into that.
Yeah. I'd say you look like you got the setup for it though, dude. That looks like a swish little studio you got back there. I definitely got
Yeah,
some
it's just a
studio
little
envy going on.
bedroom.
Like,
I grew up in this room, and then eventually turned it into a studio, and yeah,
it looks good,
it's
man.
a spot.
Sorry, I'm
We've
just
written
laughing here because Digenti saying, how about OnlyFans, James?
OnlyFans. I love that one. I couldn't. I don't know if I should get in that topic or not, but I'll just say this: if you're a band guy, you shouldn't be doing that. But
I don't think I've seen any bands on OnlyFans. Yeah, I've seen a few individuals, but I don't think like bands just yet. But we'll see how that goes. I tell you what, quick fire round. Any questions for James before I let him go? So yeah, Wit, anything you want to say? Anybody else? Some quick fire questions. We'll get to James, and then yeah, we'll let him go in just a little bit. But yeah, that studio looks cool, dude. How long did it take you to put that together?
well, it's been sort of a process for years, but we've written a lot of the material here, like a lot of it throughout the years. The Smile stuff, Too Far, the EP, Kill the Sun, it's all happened here. Not every single bit of it, but a huge handful of it has happened here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of magic and memories in this room.
So we can see how we're going to go with these questions. The Salty Pants is saying, "Can he get a kiss?"
Sure. Oh wait, no, no COVID, no.
No, that's not safe. I like Concert saying, "How many chicken wraps can you eat in one sitting?"
Chicken wraps, at least 3, but I gotta be real stoned.
Oh man, let me tell you. Once at Bloodstock Festival in the UK, I'm not sure if have you ever done Bloodstock before?
I have not heard of Bloodstock,
It's
but it
cool.
sounds
It's like Wacken, but the UK version essentially. But I remember once I was just like absolute ravenous, and I went and got a calzone, like ate the calzone, and then sat back down. I was like, oh, I'm a bit peckish. Ordered another calzone, and then whilst I was waiting for that calzone, I ate the display calzone, which was like 4 months old.
No, dude.
I ate, and
No.
honestly, I ate all of them. I'd never been that ravenously hungry
Oh,
before.
that's funny.
Let's just see what Genty is saying here. When is a Poth Angry session dropping? One
Oh,
of
that's very soon. So the Angry Sessions, they're this fun little name that I gave the my playthroughs slash I guess you could call explanations, because for the Angry Sessions I kind of break down how I actually do the parts, because I've seen covers in the past and I'll be like, that's not what I'm doing. Is the guitar not loud enough? So I really like doing the Angry Sessions because it really breaks down, what's actually happening. And who knows, maybe somebody will learn something that they didn't know
mm,
about the guitar. But it is dropping very soon. It's all filmed, it's all planned out. I haven't seen the first edit of it yet, but I imagine I'll be seeing that soon. And hopefully it's out before Kill Me. If not, then it'll be very, very shortly after.
cool, cool. Cousin asking, have you started watching the Castlevania anime yet?
No, I haven't, but I have been playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night a lot, which is made by the people who made Symphony of the Night. They kind of branched off, and it's pretty much another Castlevania, Metrovania game, and that is right up my alley. I pretty much own most of the Castlevanias, aside from the really expensive ones. But no, I haven't seen the anime yet. It's most of the time when I'm gaming, I actually have YouTube going on, not
Mm.
necessarily a show, but I would watch that because I love Castlevania.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Kingsley here just saying he once ate a whole bucket of KFC by himself. He regrets nothing.
Dude, it should have been Popeyes. That's all I'm gonna say.
And yes, indeed, Salty Pants, we are asking the real questions here. I think that's about going to wrap us up for today. Dude, it's been awesome to catch up. And yeah, next time, maybe we can get Wit actually on Zoom next time. We'll have a little three-way going or something, which would be fun.
Yeah, it could be fun.
That'd be really cool. I hope COVID fucks off as soon as it can. We get you back over to the UK whenever that might be. But yeah, have a good Christmas, dude, and fuck,
You as well.
we'll keep in touch, and yeah, look forward to that live stream, man.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Awesome. Take care, dude, and we'll see you soon.
Later.
Later, man. Later.